So it's a little damp. Alright, this is Tamatan, it says over there, which he describes as egg white and agar. I used agar as a bacteria solution in biology class, but here we are. And it turns it into sort of a, she described it as an egg white marshmallow. It's a little square. Oh wow. It's sort of like it's like a custard or a meringue, but it's way fluffier than that. Beats the crap out of a marshmallow, actually. What does this remind me of? This is really good.
It's very eggy.
Yeah. Hey, Kathleen, what's this remind you of?
It's like a honey custard, but in a cube.
Mmm. Yeah, that's great. And only $1 for that whole cube. I like it.
The other thing we have is fried chicken. Well, you know, you're thinking, is that Japanese? Yeah, they have karage. This is no regular fried chicken. It's made from local chicken breast that's been marinated in tomato puree, so it's tomato fried chicken. And you think, that's awful. It's delicious. It's really tender and juicy. It beats the shit out of Colonel Sanders.
And Colonel Sanders is surprisingly popular in Japan.
I don't know why, if they have this.
Every time I've had fried chicken, it's been dry. This is really, really good. Also, 3 pieces of this size. 250 yen. Yes, please. I think I want another egg cube.
I just figured out why that's so tender and juicy. It's marinated in tomato puree. Big deal, you say. Tomatoes are actually pretty acidic, so it's probably like a meat tenderizer. You don't taste a lot of tomato, but sure is juicy. That was a burp of satisfaction.
The outside is like slightly crispy, and the inside's ultra fluffy. There's something very specific this reminds me of, and it's bugging me.
Angel food cake?
No, not angel food cake. It's a dessert I had in England. Like a really fluffy cookie from Marks and Spencer's. Yeah. I can't remember the name of them. I just had a weird childhood flashback there. While Kathleen has resorted to the instant coffee the hostel provides, I actually quite like Coffee Boss, Suntory Coffee Boss, the iced drink, so I will wait until we get to a Coffee Boss machine, which is usually not that much of a wait. Get my coffee that way. Didn't find one today, so I was like, I really want to just find the next place that says cafe and go inside and get something to drink. And in this sort of gift shop complex, nestled in the middle in a courtyard, is this amazing cafe. We, kicked our shoes off because it's all tatami mats and went in, and it was great. We had a house brewed coffee, really, really nice, and green tea roll cake, and it was just really relaxing and nice to sit for a little while. So that was good. Outside it is still pouring with rain. So, ups and downs. Now to find some local sake to buy for souvenirs for people. Because they make that here. Sake. They make a lot of it here. I just absolutely clobbered myself on a low beam in this gift shop. There was a bright light hanging from it to one side to light one of the displays. So it was so bright that I didn't see the very dark beam standing directly in front of me, and I had to come outside. I'm seeing spots. I don't remember hitting my head this much on our first trip to Japan, though maybe there's a reason I don't remember hitting my head this much. So what we're about to do is called the Gokaiden Meguri, which, according to this sign here, means traversing the path of Buddha, known as the Jodo Meguri, and which is Jodo meaning paradise or pure land. This is something we actually did last time we were in Japan at the Zenkoji Temple in Nagano, and the Ryoken Zenkoji where we're staying is a branch temple of the same Zenkoji temple from Nagano, and so they have the same thing here. And what it is it's a you go under the altar in total darkness, and you feel along the wall, the right hand wall. This is my left, but I'll switch. Complete utter darkness until you reach the midway point directly under the altar, and you feel there's a key. It's a sacred key that is the key to paradise. And you hold it there, and you are reverent.
You have a peaceful moment of reflection.
You have a peaceful moment of reflection, and then you find your way back out again.
And then it's the symbolic is that you go into the darkness, and then you come back with light. It makes you thankful for the light and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to be respectful. Apparently, if you fool about, you'll grow horns from your head, which can't be removed.
All right, well, I will not fool about. I will, however, duck, because apparently the lowest point in here is 6'1", and I've hit my head enough today. Oh my goodness, this is very short. So we have to go to the left? More stairs. That was incredibly dark. I'll say this, I am definitely thankful for the light after that. It's actually incredibly disorienting how dark it is. Also, I was afraid of hitting my head, so I was hunched over the whole time. Pro travel tip, if you run out of cash, you can't just go to any bank. You need to go to a bank, or an ATM anyway, that clearly mentions Visa or debit or whatever. In our case, we found one at the Takayama post office, which was very good, but just normal banks, not going to do it for you. We are now on the way to the Hida Folk Village Open Air Museum, which has a bunch of buildings in the architectural style, the historical architectural style of Japan's mountainous regions, which is where we are. The Hida region. A lot of A-frame construction and thatch. But first, we're going to stop at the Circle K. Literally, I only know about the Circle K from Bill and Ted's, and the only times I've ever been to a Circle K is in Japan. I find that very amusing. The Lonely Planet Guide described the Teddy Bear Eco Village as you already know whether or not you absolutely have to go to this. I don't know what that means. We'll be passing by it on our way to Hida no Sato, so maybe we'll find out if we absolutely have to go to that. Though I guess since I don't already know, that means I don't have to? You know, guidebook, you're putting me in an awkward spot. It's gone quite rural now. We're about a half-hour walk from the Ryokan, meaning we're well outside the sort of tourist trappings of the main core of Takayama, and it's very very quiet, which is really nice. Also, it stopped, well, I guess saying it stopped raining is a misnomer, but it's functionally no longer raining, to the extent that we put our umbrellas down. There's still water falling from the sky, but it's not raining. This is an important distinction.
Do we want to go to Teddy Bear World Village? I think we kind of do. How much is admission?
Look at that display in the window.
Maybe I don't want to go to this. I'm going to spend $6 to see this.
So Kathleen, are we the sort of people who absolutely have to go to the Teddy Bear Eco Village?
I don't think we are.
Okay. It looked like just glass cases full of bears, which I guess is cool. Is it $6 cool? We've paid less to go into beautiful, amazing Zen Buddhist temples.
I paid less to go into UNESCO World Heritage Sites, let's be honest here.
Kathleen and I are now operating undercover as part of a school group. They'll never notice.
There's more than a few kids looking at us.
No one will figure it out. It's the perfect crime. Where'd this swan come from? I wasn't expecting that. Hey, swan. Oh, this is a dogwood tree. This is our provincial symbol in British Columbia, this tree. Well, the flower of the dogwood. Well, alright, swan, you keep doing you.
Traditional Japanese water pistol. Put in water. Arm. Then deploy.
It's go time. I got it into the pond from here. Did you see that?
No, I was filming you.
Oh, those are targets. I'm much better at this game at the fair.
These houses are unique to this region of Japan because it gets very heavy snow in the winter. So the neat thing is, as you can see, you're like, wow, this looks a lot like an A-frame house. Yeah, it turns out mankind invented A-frames for a reason, and that's because there's a lot of snow and nobody wants to shovel that much. So these apparently prevent your house from collapsing when you get 2 meters of snow in the winter, which is very common here.
So we're reading the interpretive signage for this house, this Gasho Jukuri style house with the amazing thatching on the roof. And it says here that it took the village people 4 days to thatch the roof, but that it would then last for 40 to 60 years. Now 4 days might seem like a long time, but remember, the village people is only 6 men strong, and really only the construction worker actually has labor experience. So I assume the policeman / army guy is acting sort of like a foreman, the construction worker is doing most of the heavy lifting, and the other 4, I guess, are there largely for moral support? Really, 4 days seems like a whirlwind amount of time. Hey Kathleen, tell me all about sledges.
So it was really snowy here in the winter, and they have a huge variety of different sledges to like pull stuff down, like wood and children and supplies, anything you could possibly name. Different sledges from Hokkaido were imported and were popular. Obviously Hokkaido knows snow. There's some tourists tourists in the background ring a bell. I mean, we're no better, we're also tourists, but also, you know, the signage sort of sadly denotes that these things fell out of favor once cars sort of came into prominence. But I'm looking at the signage of people like carrying these sledges up hills. The sledges themselves weighed like 50 kilograms. And then they'd load them with wood and pull them down. I'm like, yeah, no wonder people were like, oh, F it, I'm not doing this anymore if I don't have to.
This has been Kathleen Tells Us All About Sledges.
I win!
Grande Spontides, Big Fucking Bell. Tyler Perry is a pre-restoration housewife in Maida's house. This is a public underpass. It's got a Dragon Ball puzzle. It's actually not completed.
Well, some of the pieces look like they're falling.
And some kind of animu. And Disney. And kittens. And this thing. I guess to make it a little less sad?
It doesn't smell like pee and there's no graffiti. I don't understand.
That's true, actually. That is weird. Oh yeah, also bicycle ramp. Yeah. Gather round and let me tell you the tale of dinner. Our plan was to go to a place called Center for Burgers, numeral 4. Center for Hamburgers. Because...
highly recommended, super popular, takes... sometimes you have to wait to get in. Very tasty, well regarded, sort of,
and they
by
make
many travelers. 5 stars on Google.
And they make burgers with the famous Hida beef, which is a thing that's here. It's local. It's the beef. It's really, really good. And we were like, great, burgers with that sounds great. So we were walking back from the Hida Folk Village, which is like a half-hour walk. And a half-hour walk there, walking around the village
for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Then half-hour walk back. We were like, the food, make the food happen, bring it to our mouths.
Just suffice to say, I was flagging a little bit.
Same. So we get there, and they are temporarily closed
for the 3 days that we're in Takayama.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They're literally just taking a break the 3 days that we're in town. So I was like, okay, that's okay. It sucks. That is bad and unfortunate, but that's okay because we're not that far from a place that we'd seen the other night that serves burgers, and it won't be the same sort of thing, but at least it'll be burgers and it's not that far.
And they're almost certainly made with Hida beef because pretty much everything is made with Hida beef.
Yeah.
They're proud of the beef.
They're proud of the beef. So we walk over there, and they're closed. They're just closed. No reason given.
Well,
apparently,
I have read this online. If a business is going to be closed, they are probably going to be closed on Wednesday. Apparently, Wednesday is a day that business is closed, and there are more closed restaurants tonight than there were last night. Yeah,
just Wednesday is a thing. Even in a massive tourist mecca, just closed on Wednesdays.
Some people want to have a night off. Gee.
Yeah, I'm down with it, but I was not down with it at the time.
No.
So we ended up after
very dejectedly at this point.
After some consternation, wandering around, and we ended up at a place called Steak and Fun.
We had seen it. It looked expensive. I saw that it had their pasta menu.
Yep.
But realistically, it was open.
Mm-hmm.
It sold food.
Yeah, which is the key.
They had an English menu that I could read the entirety of and realized that I could order stuff on that menu.
And so we said, you know what, screw it, we're going to go have some steak and fun. I had the steak, Kathleen had the fun, or the pasta bolognese.
I got spaghetti bolognese, because it wasn't even made with Hida beef, it was made with Wagyu beef.
It was still fucking delicious.
It was really good. And
my steak was insane. My steak was phenomenal.
We got a cheese appetizer.
Yeah.
And then we had dessert. I had creme brulee, Earl Grey tea creme brulee.
Oh.
I had a tiramisu.
House-made tiramisu.
It was good.
The whole thing was really, 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 really good.
I mean, the bill was like $70.
My steak was half of that. For the smallest size.
But not the cheapest cut.
No, it was not the most expensive cut either. It but
No,
it
you
was
went
not
in
the
the middle.
cheapest cut. I went middle of the road.
That seems fair.
Now we're in a very, very, very dark alley, and you can't see anything.
That's nice. It's a nice alley. It's not creepy.
So we'll catch up back at the Ryokan. And now back at the Ryokan, we can now relax for a couple hours, which is nice. We're trying to do that every day. We're trying to allow ourselves a little time to just chill in the evening rather than run ourselves ragged and collapse and get up and try and do it again. That seems like a bad idea. But I wanted to tell you about some fun things that I enjoy about Japan. When you go into a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven, and you get snacks like these cinnamon twists, they'll give you a wet nap every time, which is great. Can you imagine going into a 7-Eleven in North America and getting like I guess a burrito or one of their weird donuts or hot dogs or something, and you get a wet nap every time? Everything's so clean. It's really, really nice. But what I absolutely wasn't expecting, because I've gotten used to that now. This one's from Vie de France. I've gotten used to that now. What I wasn't expecting is when we went to a liquor store here to purchase some Hida Takayama local brew, because Hida Takayama is known, the Hida region is known for its beef and its alcohol. Mostly sake, but there's some local beer brewers that I'm excited to try. This actually costs as much as a beer does back home, unlike the Asahi I've been having, which has been surprisingly cheap. Because I got this out of the fridge, it's meant to be served cold, she included in the bag a Cool Runner with picture of penguin, like a ice pack to keep the beer cold so you could take it back and it would still be cold. That's ridiculous. Anyway, this is a Hida Takayama Brewing Agricultural Corporation since 1996 stout, and I'm excited to try it because one of their other beers had won a Global Beer Award. I hadn't expected to be enjoying handcrafted microbrews in Japan, considering the rest of their beers. Cheers. That's really, really good. I don't think I'm going to have room in my bag to take any of this home with me, but I really want to. Tomorrow, we're going to just wander around town some more. It's been really nice just wandering around and enjoying this really beautiful mountain town with all of its fun little shops. We've gotten most of our souvenir shopping done as well. So, yeah, no big plans. Certainly not another half-hour walk both ways.
Hand-eye coordination is not my jam. Well, this one's lighter. It's going to be much easier. Well, you're just to show off.